Is engineering degree worth it? I get asked this question a lot. Honestly, sometimes I ask myself that question too. Engineering is very challenging, rewarding, stressful, and inspiring all at the same time. So today I want to share with you my personal honest experience about if engineering is the right path for you. I am going to answer it in two different aspects. Number one, is engineering worth it in the financial standpoint? And number two, is engineering worth it in the job satisfaction standpoint? So no one's gonna deny that engineering school is hard. You will encounter a lot of sleepless nights because you have too much homework to finish. You write pages and pages of lab report. And once you graduate, the learning doesn't stop there. Once you start learning, your knowledge will be out of date, and they, as in the company, will find someone to replace you. You also deal with deadlines, complex problems, sometimes tight budget, and sometimes you're dealing with people who aren't engineers. It's tough to communicate technical concept to the people who don't have technical backgrounds. So why are we going through all of that trouble? Why is engineering worth it? Engineering as a major opened a lot of doors and opportunities. You build real world skill, things like problem solving, analytical thinking, being creative under pressure. These skills are much needed in other fields as well, not just in engineering. And there are reasons why most of the top company CEO backgrounds are from engineering. You're also entering a field that is very consistently in demand, which means that you'll have good paying job with good benefits and a strong job security with a huge variety in industry for you to work in, from like aerospace to technology to energy. So, all that said, from a work satisfaction standpoint, knowing that you're building something that impacts other people's life, even if they will never see it or realize it. Engineering also helps shape the world and improve people's life daily. There's also a sense of accomplishment when you do something that most people cannot finish. According to an ASME data, like 50% of people who go into engineering drop out on their first year because they just cannot handle the stress and the school load. However, let me just bring you back to reality. Not every engineering job will make you feel like you're changing the world. Sometimes it feels like just filling out paperwork or you fixing things that doesn't need to be fixed in the first place. Some engineers, like myself, realizing that most engineering jobs is just like other jobs. Yes, you get to design cool things, but you also have to deal with office politics. You have to go through HR training, and sometimes it feels like the work that you're doing is very repetitive. Okay, so the second part is from a financial standpoint. Is engineering worth the money that you're getting? According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median wage of architecture and engineering occupation was around $90,000 in May of 2023, which is significantly higher than the average national wage, coming at about like 48-50 grand for other occupation. With of course location and industries are the biggest factor that will determine your salary. And in May of 2024, the unemployment rate for architecture and engineering occupation was 1.8%, and the national average was 4.0%, which means that you are more likely to get a job when you have an engineering or STEM degree. Okay, so for example, let's say John is a high school student and he's picking out his university this year, and his major is going to be mechanical engineering. He's planning on going to college where he lives, which is the West Coast, and he also planning on staying in the West Coast for looking for a job after graduation. Let's say his parents will not take care of his tuition, but they will only take care of his living expenses and books. So then after graduate from engineering degree, how long would it take him to pay off his loan if he go to an in-state public university? Okay, so I look up on the West Coast, the in-state public school tuition come in about like 80 grand roughly for 4 years. Now let's say if he have some scholarship And he also saved up some money. He took out about $60,000 of student loan for his college. And let's assume that when he graduated, his job offer come in about $95,000 with a 3% increase in salary every year. Now, 3% is a very below average percent of increase, but I just want to make sure that we assume the worst. I made a spreadsheet that listed all of his living expenses, assumed that he lived by himself after college. So his monthly income comes in about almost $8,000, which is very good. His adjusted income is about $7,000 a month. And after you take out federal taxes and state taxes and Social Security and Medicare, his net take-home pay would be about $5,400. His biggest expenses would be rent, and he is paying about $2,200 for rent. We also have his utility, internet and phones and groceries, transportation and health taken out of his paycheck. And he also paying student loan for about $600 a month, which his goal is for him to paying off his student loan as soon as possible, so he's making like really big payments on it. And after we take out all the expenses and the student loan, his total monthly expenses will come in about $4,400, which means he have about almost $1,000 in saving. Even if he's taking out his loan, he still have quite a bit of money in saving, and he still live a pretty comfortable life by himself. According to a recent US data, the average borrower takes about 20 years to fully pay off a federal student loan, and a STEM degree holder takes about 10 to 15 years to pay off their student loan because they tend to have a higher salary. The bottom line is most people, it's going to take them about 10 to 20 years to pay off their student, whereas discipline like engineering and STEM major often take them faster to pay off their student loan, provided if they intentionally saving and living below their means. All of that to say, is engineering degree worth it? The answer is, coming from an engineer, is really depends. If you really enjoy problem solving and you're willing to put in the hard work, the long hours of studying, and if you're okay with delayed gratification, engineering can be an amazing career. It's not about being a genius and you have to be like incredible at math and physics. It's more about being curious, resilient, and willing to keep learning, even when it's tough. But if you don't like math, you don't like physics, you don't like critical thinking, and you just want an easy paycheck, there are honestly so many other easier way to make money, like making YouTube videos. So for me, is engineering degree worth it? To be honest with you, I am the first generation that have a college degree in my family. I am also the first immigrant generation. So this degree was very worth it for me because we didn't grow up with a lot of means. So my parents always taught me that education is the only way for you to go up in life. So that's kind of like one of the reasons why I go into engineering. It taught me to think differently. And it also showed me how to apply my analytical skill into my daily life, which is very helpful sometimes. It also gives me a solid foundation, whether I stay in engineering forever or if I pivot into something else. So if you're thinking about major in engineering, please know this is a very long road, but it leads to incredible places. So thank you for watching. I really hope you find this helpful. If you like this video, you probably also like some of my other videos that I talk about mechanical engineering as a major. I will see you next time.